So The Life of Chuck is being distributed by Neon, and it comes out tomorrow. I saw this movie at an early screening on Monday, and it follows the life of Charles Krantz, who's played by Tom Hiddleston, and all of the people who are affected around him, as well as his life and his impact on the world. And that's pretty much all I can say about the movie. It's pretty vague, but the description of it is pretty vague. This is a really interesting movie. It isn't a movie that I absolutely loved, and I know when I see a movie, I'll sometimes find that immediate connection with it. There were a few things kind of holding me back, but overall I really did enjoy this movie. It's directed by Mike Flanagan, who wrote The Haunting of Hill House and directed that. He's directing the new Exorcist movie. He's really talented with horror. He also did Gerald's Game, the movie adaptation, and he did Midnight Mass, which was definitely inspired by Salem's Lot. He's a big Stephen King guy and horror. And this is adapting a Stephen King novella from 2020, and it's a drama movie. It is not horror, which I think is very good because Mike Flanagan's pretty much cemented himself as a horror maestro. And I think he's even making a Dark Tower show, which is great because we needed that for a while. But The Life of Chuck is really interesting. I think it does a lot of things that are difficult to do, and for the most part, it does a really great job at adapting a short novella. I'd say my one main issue with this movie is a bit of exposition in the first act, which is technically Act 3. It really is a pretentious indie core movie. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just means it's exactly what I think of when I think of an independent movie. And I really like it because when you think of that, you think of things that are different and unique or not going by the Hollywood mantra. This finds a way to always be interesting. And it has some creepy moments early on, some spooky stuff that I really like, just atmospheric. There's a shot in this where a girl is riding or roller skating down a street and Chiwetel Ejiofor is looking around and the whole street's black, and then he looks into the windows and he sees that all of the windows become a black and white image of Tom Hiddleston. There's some really good imagery in that. That was one of the images that stuck out to me the most. But every shot in this is really good. It has really good pacing. It feels like an old school Stephen King movie in a way. By old school, I mean it's kind of a slice of life American movie, a lot of just American suburbia. You follow the lives of these different people. There's some creepy stuff happening, and then there's some kind of quirky, down-to-earth suburban stuff. That's mostly in the third act. We focus on young Chuck. Overall, though, this is a very difficult movie to review without spoilers, and I don't want to spoil the movie for everyone. But I think I can talk about how Mike Flanagan really did create something new. This is a story that I feel like we've, probably seen before. There's movies like Ikaru and It's a Wonderful Life, which both deal with kind of the little moments in life and, doing small, banal things and what does it all add up to in the end. This is a very existential movie. It really is. It's very philosophical. There's a lot of dialogue. We all know Mike Flanagan loves dialogue, and that really would, I would say, be the one part that doesn't cripple it at all, but it definitely adds that kind of knot that I'm there's too much talking. I feel like in TV, maybe it's more acceptable because it's TV. It's you're looking down to it. A movie, you're looking up. I don't like exposition in movies, a lot of it. This movie has a lot of it. But it's really well made. The music is so good. I mean, the music is definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting in scenes where there's just exposition and there's this whimsical, philosophical music playing. It's very, fun to watch. That's an important thing. Mike Flanagan does a great job with pacing. There's scenes that could seem boring, but he has a way of always making it seem interesting. It's just beautifully shot. The cast is really good. And I think after kind of the middle of Act 1, which is, again, Act 3, it starts to pick up the pace. I really did love this movie, a lot of it. I didn't love all of it, but I think that its 3-act structure, the performances, especially from Mark Hamill, from Chiwetel Ejiofor, from Matthew Lillard, even the 10-year-old actor who plays young Chuck is really good. And Tom Hiddleston is, even though he's the title character in this movie, he has a very small role. But I think that it's a very enjoyable movie, and I like the kind of story it's telling about one man's life and his impact on the people around him. And again, there have been movies like this, Ikaru, It's a Wonderful Life, tons and tons of other adaptations of that same idea. But this has a very modern, very A24, even though it's neon kind of aesthetic, and it really works. You can tell that Mike Flanagan was happy to adapt the story because it's Stephen King and because it's a very, interesting story where you can combine these tones. You can have a bit of horror, but mostly have it be philosophical and drama. And you can have a couple of funny lines and moments, but mostly it's just this emotional journey. I wouldn't even say it's an epic. It's feels a little small to be an epic, but it is a very beautiful, very like whole story that by the end, like just looking back at it now, I'm pretty satisfied with it. There's movies that you look back on and you think, it didn't fully add up to me. I think The Life of Chuck wasn't great. It didn't floor me, but there were so many scenes in it that are just really well composed and well paced, from the scene with Chuck and his teacher to, the flashbacks of him as a kid to showing the teachers in the modern day. The way it does its 3-act structure is really good. And it really does have a lot of good setup and payoff. So overall, I really did enjoy The Life of Chuck. Some movies, can be inherently pretentious where there's, you don't get like a clear answer or there's no clear plot, but it's a mood. And this movie really conveys that mood of wonder, of whimsy, of unsettling moments, anxiety, coming of age. It's sort of Linklater-y in a way, and also like a bit of David Lynch with its nostalgic, like real sweet human quality. I feel like there's a very human, sweet quality here that, definitely makes this movie stand out to me. And it borders on being kind of like a little too sugary and sentimental, but it doesn't get too sentimental because of how well it's crafted and the, intelligence of just the way they shoot this thing. So I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of Life of Chuck. Comes out tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching.